close that. Alright, it's Double B here, and I'm going to do this little old cooking for one, and in this case this might be an exception because the portions that I've kind of placed out here, this could well be for more than one, which there's not, so, but that's okay because this is a kind of a meal that could keep, you know, it could well be heated up the next day or something. It'll hold up because we try to keep everything not cooking too long, so it stays kind of crisp and fresh, and it will hold up to that. So, and what this is a little oil. It's very simple, like home fry. I believe a lot of people call these home fries. Some people call them California fries. In Oregon, they call them Oregon fry. Whatever. They ain't, you know, they ain't, whatever they call those things, the other kind of fries. Anyway, but it's a home fry. It's a good thing to have. Like if you get up and you get to doing stuff, and you know it gets to be later in the day, and you want to make something up that's kind of substantial. You kind of miss breakfast. You know, I wish I could have me some breakfast, but it's later, and so you end up combining things, right? As people do. They have it. You know, a lot of times people put breakfast and lunch together, and they call it brunch. You know, well, this ain't nearly as exotic as that. And then sometimes you miss the other meal in a day, and whatever, and then you put it stretching out over 3 meals. This is a good substantial thing to have whenever, you know. So it's not just, you know, breakfast deal. So. So if it was breakfast and dinners, I mean, you'd call it like, I don't know, fastener, no, whatever, breakner, or then fast. No, I don't like that. We're gonna call this Brinner. So this is Brinner for one, or Brinner for one, and then the next day. So, but the reason for the larger proportion is I baked up a couple of these potatoes the other day with this in mind. I had some that I had that night, and then I baked up an extra here, and I made this. I picked up a larger potato for this because I intended to cut this up. But you bake this first. That's the key to not getting all your other stuff mushy. It's a different kind of a flavor and texture when because you start with a baked potato, which we'll deal with that some other time. But you start with that baked potato. You know, and it's just baked with a little olive oil and kosher salt on there is what I've been using here lately. And so it's got that on there, and you put it in the refrigerator, you know, and then you get it out when you're ready to do your home fries, and then it's already cooked, so you're just kind of heating it up and giving maybe a little sear over parts of it. But it's easily, that's something you spread over two meals of a potato that size probably. So we may likely have a little extra here, but just to get it started and not to take too long with the, you know, the precursor like part of it. So got that going there, and I start this. I want to get that hot, and I'm gonna start cutting up my onion here, and because that's gonna be the first vegetable that goes in there, you know. So. So we're just going to dice that up, have that ready to go. You can see everything's out here been washed and tidy like, and so we don't need to worry too much about that. And I might give me a little transfer board here or something. The board has got a little close to the stove at one point, and that's, you know, I probably just need to get another one of those. But anyway, I'm going to use that later. And so I got this heating up, and somewhere I got my spatula, which is always good, and you know, I made a one here on the cast iron fry pan, which cast iron fry pan is something I had not really used. I tried them camping once, and that was okay, but I didn't really understand the mystique of it, and you know, I don't know, it's had some kind of like some pressed childhood thing that just kind of kept me away from the cast iron pan for a while, and that's too bad because I was missing out. I figured it out, and I had these sitting. I had some that a whole set here that I had for nearly 20 years for a different kind of purpose we won't go into. But I needed a little one to heat something up to do, you know, with like a woodworking thing or something. I needed, but the whole set came at the store there, and this is all American fry pans, you know. And the whole set was like, I don't know, it was very inexpensive, and I got that. And so they just sat all this time, and then I decided, well, my brother-in-law, he's a pretty good boy, and he was saying, yeah, he loved it, he swore by it. I've known other people to swear by it that I valued their opinion. So I decided I'd season them up here and go, and I'm very happy with it. It's doing things that I just have not been able to do, especially with the meats. They're getting the heat, the even hot heat doesn't dissipate. That's a great thing. But you can see there's 3 different sizes here, and I think I got a little bitty one. And actually, down here, if I can get it out, this experience a little pan envy, pan envy. Look at that baby. That's huge, and I don't use that much. But it's good on a campfire or something. It's like something like 20 inches or something ridiculous. Anyway, it's a big old fry pan. So this is ready to go, and I've already placed a little bit of olive oil in there, and that's a pretty big piece of sauce. Like I said, when this got going, I got the idea that this was not going to be necessarily cooking for one, or maybe cooking for one plus tomorrow. But anyway, so I went ahead and put a little bit bigger piece of sausage than I might otherwise. And we're just going to mix that up, brown that a little bit. And yeah, I didn't get that as hot as I should have, as soon as I should have. What I might do here is just to take a little break so as not to just go on and bore you to absolute tears. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to resume here when this is more ready to go, okay? Okay, so what I have done here is I went ahead and browned up that sausage pieces and added my diced onions to it and cooked them in, put a little pepper on those. And so now we're going to start adding the rest of the stuff, and we need to add this in a particular order so that they all cook properly, because none of this here needs very much. Potato don't really need nothing but warming up because it's been fully cooked. So, but we're going to start when this gets back up to speed. I turn it down for just a minute and add a little pat of butter to it. And so now I'm going to add all these my zucchini pieces and my yellow squash pieces, and just do that like that. Kind of get those to going a little here, and what I may do is use this cover. Just don't fit it all. It's got a broken handle there. I need to make a new one for that or something. But I got that going. Let that cook a little bit, and I have an idea that I'm going to want a little bit of this bell pepper just for color in there. It will taste good too, but I'm going to get some of those ready to go in there. And I got to, of course, slice my mushrooms, leave them mushroom shaped. We talked about that before. You leave them mushroom shaped because it's a nice shape there. It's a very organic shape, and people just like that. They like that. A lot of things they compare it to that. So mushrooms like whatever, clouds and covered thing, whatever. Anyway, but so we got that. We'll turn these over a little bit and see what they might do for us. That's all done there. These are kind of getting there. We might add a little, well, we might do that later. I would add a little liquid or something to it, and we might just do a little seasoning here with this, Mrs. Dash. I don't have anything against that. How Mr. Dash was or anything, but I'm gonna add that, and I might just put just a little garlic on there for later on when I get the potatoes happening. So put that little bit of garlic in there, and now we start. It's time to get going here. We're done messing around. So I'm gonna get the mushroom. Oh man, I messed that up a little. Then again, I rinse these off. Kind of wipe them with a little paper towel, but you don't got to go crazy scrubbing on the mushroom. It's uncalled for. And I have seen people just go to town where they don't have hardly anything left with these, and they sure don't have a mushroom shape, which, as I said, that's a very beautiful shape, right? Yeah. And they're a nice kind of a flavor sponge, as I have mentioned in the past, whether or not you saw that, but there's a nice thing going on there. So I got that going, and I'm gonna go ahead and start stirring this all kind of together. The most rest of the things going in here now are just kind of heating up and maybe steaming a little. And I think I'm just gonna put these at the same time. That's what I'm gonna do. put those at the same time. Make sure my heat's back up here, because I'm ready to cook, buddy. I'm not, we're not messing around anymore. So, got that going. I got some butter. I might need a little more later. I don't know. I don't want to just overdo it, but I want it to be enough. And I'm going to put a little bit of pepper on those mushrooms, maybe a little bit of kosher salt, because that's just good. That's just good. So yeah, that's ready to go. And I might just add a little liquid, and it can be liquid of your choice at this stage, whether it's water or some other kind of thing. whatever you drink in there. For the most part, I mean, there's some things I would use milk, or I wouldn't, but whatever you got going, go ahead and put that in there. And it's about time to get this potato cut up. So I got this potato, it's got some salt on it. That ain't gonna hurt nothing. And I'm gonna cut it and cut it out. I'm gonna quarter it a little bit. Look at it, and there ain't nothing that stands out as inedible in it. So I got them in quarters, and I'm just gonna cut them this way. Yeah, that's half of that. Put that in there. Oh my! I want to get away from it now. Okay, so cut that on up, and yeah, this is pretty. It's a pretty potato, and it bakes so nicely in the oven. I have discovered that really is the way to do it. No matter what people might say, it's better in the oven than trying to do the old microwave thing or whatever. But these, I just separate those little potato pieces a little. Get this stuff cooking, man. Get it up high and hot. As you can see, you can plainly see, it did more than one. This is cooking for 1 + 1 is what we might want to call this. So 1 + 1, somebody else or you tomorrow. Now that's looking very good, but as you may kind of recognize, well, we got some colors, and I put the zucchini, the outside is green, not enough green really. The squash is pretty much yellow all the way through. I add the bell pepper for that and whatever, and the potatoes and the sausage and even the mushroom. Well, they don't have any vibrancy going on, and we can't have that, can we? No, we can't. So we're going to do something. I could use some red bell pepper. I think a little tomatoes, and you can use any kind of tomatoes. I've been using these old grape tomatoes or whatever, and part grape, part tomato, I guess is what they are. But I'm just gonna, I like to pierce them like this and just kind of squeeze some of that nasty out. You can do that over the sink or whatever. But I'm not wanting about a bunch of water and stuff, they're gonna sog everything up, I put that little bit of liquid in there for to steam with, but that's all well, I did go and squirt myself in the face with the tomato there. Sure, great tomato. It wasn't very smart, but anyway, I don't know what it looks like, so I'm gonna assume that it's not hideous, and that if anything, it's just like mildly amusing. If there's like tomato seeds hanging on my nose or something. But anyway, but I do, I get a little of that extra water out of the tomato. That's just kind of a thing I do, and so everything I think is going away, and I need to get to this and not make sure it doesn't like overcrisp on one side or anything. But it's looking very good, very pretty, and it's not as colorful as some other meal, but it's colorful enough. It's pretty. We're gonna have a couple of eggs with this, and we'll show you how that goes. But we need to get these tomatoes in there, and we're just about that. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit because I don't want to get limp and soggy. We know that I don't like limp and soggy, not a little bit even. I don't. So get these tomatoes cut up, and they'll add some color. And I'm putting these in, kind of dead last. Well, they're not living, so dead last. But put those in because they will. I'm gonna keep all that red color. I'm highly valuing that particular component in it, because that's going to make this meal, just a little bit prettier than it otherwise would be. Plus the fresh tomatoes, it's a good flavor. Put those in there. We're getting close to where I might have to take a little break, and we'll finish up in a minute. But I'll go ahead and show you. Put those in there, and it's not an overwhelming amount, but it's all right. It's a good color in there. That's pretty good. That's pretty. And this is a magnificent thing. It might not look like much, and if you thinking I just could do like the country cook, I can do some more exotic things. We just haven't got to that yet, so one day we might. But anyway, that's just sitting there. And I'm gonna do up my eggs here in a minute, but I'm gonna take a little break and wash the tomato off of my face. You know, I hope you enjoyed that part of it. But anyway, but this is about, we're about there, and yeah, back. Okay, Double B here to finish up here, and so what I'm gonna do here is that's all ready, and it's not even on the heat now. It's sitting there waiting on me. And I just will sprinkle a little bit of mixed cheeses. There's some cheddar and whatnot, and I ain't gonna put a little, you know, I don't know, some different white cheddars, and maybe a little parmesan or something. I put that, got that ready a while. I'm gonna put that, let that melt down in its potatoes a little bit, and I'm gonna do a couple eggs to go with it. Now clearly, I'm going to maybe eat half of that if I can even handle that. I'm gonna do a couple eggs because that's gonna complete this. I mean, it's everything you want. It's right there. I might have some fresh fruit or something. You don't need to see that. But I wanted to talk a minute about these eggs. Because these eggs, they got the Brahms store here. It's dirt. And it's, man, they got just really nice fresh things. And I had started getting these eggs there. But it's a puzzling thing. You got to look at this. This is called them cage-free eggs. And these are not the first cage-free eggs I have run across. Well, I don't, run across, and there wouldn't be much good after that. But anyway, I've seen these, and they're pretty. You always got to check and make sure they're not busted up in there or something, because that does happen with any egg, no matter. But I like the brown eggs. I don't know. I just think, like I said, I like the colors, right? I don't, if I wanted something white, well, I just like eat flour and white sugar or something all day. But I don't like that at all. So I got these, but they got the cage-free eggs, and I've seen this just started popping up, man. 25 years ago or so, and I wasn't raised on a farm, but I have seen a farm, and I spent some time in the country and whatnot, and I've seen chickens and different, poultry guys, kind of animals, so I know where eggs come from. But the thing that I don't understand in cage-free is that eggs, I appreciate that, but I don't even know why you'd need a cage to begin with, because look, unless you put that on an old hill or something, incline or two, it ain't going anywhere. You don't need a cage to contain an egg, for crying out loud. Anyway, the water's hot over here, and water. I say, okay, I put a little butter, a little water. I'm gonna do these kind of what I like to call a medium cook there, and not, I like the yolk to be liquid still on them and go right away. And but I don't like any white to be. And I don't know what that is. What some kind of thing with a natural instinct or some kind of stupid thing I learned in my unpleasant childhood. But anyway, it's just what I do. And I know people got all kinds of strange ideas about eggs. So but I think that a lot of people feel the same way. And there's a little kosher salt already in there. So I got that going. And I'm gonna to get these where they work out like that and everything's good. I'm gonna cover that just a little bit with a kind of my all-purpose cover. I don't even have the pan that came off of, but I'm gonna cover that just a little bit. So I'm gonna have to monitor that, and so that I don't overcook those, because I don't like that either. We don't even start to talking about overcooked eggs or burn eggs. I mean burn eggs. That's what that's an unpleasant childhood memory that I don't want to even discuss at this point, but I'm real familiar with that and that smell, and it put me off the eggs for quite a while. So we are not going to burn the eggs, trust me on that. Okay, so it appears I spilled a little bit of butter as I'm on the floor. I might take care of it before I kill myself. But anyway, so look here. So that's going, and we're going to let that do its little thing there and monitor. Like I said, this is all fine and good. And then we're just going to take off a little portion and stick it on this plate. Yes, we will. Look at that. That's not a whole lot of cheese, but it's a little bit to get, we got all our things. If you're craving this or you're craving that, it's got a little bit of everything in there. Excuse me. And that's going to be good, good complete meal with the eggs there and like I said, I'll probably cut up a little fresh fruit or something. I got pineapple fruit cut up and melon cut up and whatnot. I got some white flesh peaches, and so I got options. You know what I'm saying? But we're not talking about that. So look at that. I covered that. Now that's about. You could really probably eat that there. Kept those yolks a little too close, but anyway, but it's already, you can see with that, it's got a steam action, have just a little bit of water in it. It has allowed those eggs the white on the top of those eggs to cook without, and I did burst it a little bit. What I did not do, which I needed to do, was to make sure that those yolks weren't just jammed up against one another, because to flip it like that, I could have tried to do it together, but that might not have worked out either. But it's, but I'm just gonna not leave it, they're pretty well there, so I'm just gonna, leave me a little bit of juice in the middle of them, and a little bit of yolks cooked, but that's fine. And that's pretty, we're done with this. And so now, only one thing to do, well, there's quite a few things to do, but there's probably not things that you want to see. But we want to go ahead and do our little test here and see how this worked out for us. I think it probably did pretty well. And then put a little Cholula on the eggs, and maybe a little over here, because you can't hurt nothing with Cholula. I mean, I'm telling you, I discovered that a while back, and whew, that's the best hot sauce that I have had. So, give me a little bag here, potatoes. And its flavors have kind of blended, so even if you get just the potato by itself, it's going to have some of the other flavors. But we try to get a little of this and a little of that. I took my glasses off so I can't even tell what I'm eating, which is an unfortunate fact of my adult life. But anyway, so you want to take a little bite? Oh man, sorry about that. But now that is very nice. People might tell you this isn't the healthiest thing, but it's not bad either. It is not bad either. And I need to just stop here. I'd eat this whole thing while you're watching that. That's no kind of entertainment. So anyway, I appreciate that you're sticking this out here with me. And I hope that this still makes a pretty nice video. And I don't know if we're going to do any afterthoughts or anyway, but we might. And so I'm going to do that now. And if you don't hear from me later in this particular episode, I appreciate you tuning in. And yeah. Double B. Have a good day.